Hello and welcome to Ghosts and Guardians, my Destiny-centric show here on my Lunar Lightning Entertainment channel. And today we're talking about SRL, or Sparrow Racing League. It's the newest event happening here in Destiny this week and for the next couple weeks after that. And it's essentially what it sounds like. It's a racing league. And you can see I'm starting in an unusual spot, which is the Eververse Trading Company, run by, of course, by Eververse. And the Eververse Trading Company here is selling some new items. Here's the Sparrow Toolkit. And there's a little bit of controversy running across this because you're going to get one of 5 Sparrows, but you're guaranteed to get a different one. But if you're looking for a specific Sparrow, you might not be lucky enough to get it, and could be spending up to $25 to get them all, since there is 5 Sparrows you can get from this. $5 a piece. So yeah, a lot of people are not happy about this. But moving on to the next thing, here is the custom horn kit. Yes, horns are new to Destiny now. You actually have a horn for your Sparrow, and there's, I think, 17 or something like that. One you get for free, and the rest you have to buy. This one's only $1 a piece, which is not that bad, and you have a chance at getting a special Sparrow. And it's kind of like the Festival of the Lost masks, but you're kind of rolling, hoping you get something. You're not spending 500 silver on this, so $5. You're only spending $1 essentially, and with the hopes of getting something. I was really disappointed with the Festival of Lost when I did not get the Flaming Skull mask, but this, it looks like I have a better chance of getting it, only spending $1 if I choose to. I'm not quite sure if I'm actually going to drop that $1 to try getting this special Sparrow or not. But hey, you never know. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about any of the emotes, but this package, I felt like I had to say something. This gives you the chance for 200 Glimmer to get a emote with a high chance that you'll get one you don't have. So technically, you could be spending $2 on an emote you already have. Now, they says it has a high chance you'll get something new, but it does not guarantee it, which is my issue. If I'm going to be spending real money on this, you better damn well guarantee that I'm going to get something new and not something I already have. Unlike the Sparrow one, where it guaranteed you're going to get one that you did not have. So you could spend the $25 and get them all, and you're guaranteed to get them all. This one, you may not be as lucky. But let's move on to the next one, which is the big controversy, the racing book. We're going to take a little look at what's inside. And it essentially is a record book for a whopping $10, which will keep track of all your races that you have done during the event. So this 3-week event is going to keep track of everything you've done on each map. Now, if you look at the very first one, you get all your stats on Mars. The first column gives you gear, and the second column gives you basically nothing, just some records to complete it. Here's all the stuff that you have to accomplish. I'm not going to read each individual one. You can do that yourself. But as you can see, you can get a chest piece, a helmet, some boots, and a special Sparrow. Now, we'll flip the pages and we'll go to the next one, which is on Venus. And if you take a look at that, same thing, same deal. Exact same things you have to do just on the Venus map. And you can look at all this again. Like I said before, I'm not reading this. I'm sure everyone out here is not a baby. But you get a couple helmets, you get the gauntlets, and you have a shader. Collecting everything nets you an emblem. Now, it is worth noting that all your races that you do, your stats are still tabulated. You just won't be able to see them unless you purchase that book. And the big controversy, of course, it's $10 and it's basically keeping your stats. Yes, you get some gear, but it's basically the same gear in a different color. And that's what a lot of people are upset about. It's nothing overly special. And the helmets you get are only at level 3, I believe, a light level 3. So you're not going to get anything overly spectacular. Now let's get into the actual racing. You're going to actually view one of my races that I had. It's, I believe, the second time I came in first. And speaking of the book back there, getting in first is clearly the hardest thing to do. If you have a trick Sparrow, you could easily earn the shader and the Sparrow by doing tricks in probably, I'd say, about 6 or 7 races. You could easily earn it. Just do tricks over every bump and hill that you run across. But this race here was kind of special because it was extremely close finish, and you're going to see that at the end. I'm going to run it throughout the whole race. And just my overall thoughts on the races, I've had a blast with it. It's been frustrating at times. Actually, I tweeted out that I was having a frustrating time where people were beating me at the last second and stuff like that. And eventually, basically like minutes after tweeting that, I end up taking first place for the first time. And then the very next race, which is this one here actually, I got first again. And since then, as of the time of this recording, I've come in first one other time. Fortunately, it's all been on this map here on Venus. But I've had a blast. I am loving this. But it's not something I could see me doing all the time. Yes, it's going to be fun for probably these 3 weeks. I'm thinking of concentrating on one character for each of these 3 weeks. But it's not something I'd want to do for the rest of Destiny. For it to appear periodically, I'm okay with that. I'd love to jump into this every once in a while with hopefully new maps. 2 maps I think is kind of small. One more map I think would have made a huge difference. Maybe something on Earth. Actually, even the last city, someone mentioned that, I believe, on Reddit or something like that. That would have been a great idea to start zooming through the lost city. The last city, I should say. But some tips I can give, although I'm not going to classify myself as an amazing racer in this game, use the strafe. You can use your strafe by using your bumpers, or even just pushing in the joysticks. If you're running this on a PlayStation 4, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure that the exact same buttons will work on the 360. On, I should say, the Xbox One or the 360. But I'm assuming that they're most likely the same buttons. But I am having a blast with this. Use your strafe. You have the ability to use, I think, 3 at a time, but you have to hit a couple gates to recharge that. And yeah, you can use it in mid-air. You can use it anytime. It really helps in certain situations. I've found that as I've been playing this, I've been finding the exact perfect situations to use the strafe. And it definitely helps out and has definitely knocked off my time. Fun fact, my fastest time on this specific course, I have actually come in 5th. It's my fastest time I've ever done in this course, and I came in 5th, which just tells you how much better the players out there are getting. And they're learning all these little tips and tricks as well. I've never had a really easy win. Actually, the last one I was up probably 3 seconds on the closest person, which is a fairly significant difference. As you can see, depending on what place you're in will determine how big the gates are for your speed boosts. Being in last, you'll hit more boosts because the gates are so big, and being in first, you have such small gates. And I think that helps to keep the races at least close. If you noticed at the beginning of the race, I actually did not start right away, which is a little trick I do, so I'm not bumping to everybody during the first turn. I wait a couple seconds, let them go, that way I can make that first turn and actually cut them off later on in the race. And it's been successful sometimes. I've been consistently in the top 3, I'd say, for the last, 10, 20 races, something like that. Somewhere in between there. I don't remember for sure. But have fun with this. This is a great time I'm having doing this. we're pretty well near the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, feel free to subscribe, or you can follow me on Twitter at LunarLightENT. Until next time, Guardians, I'm going to say goodbye.